here to talk about dreams like we do every night. Dreams are tools that you can use while you're sleeping to help you heal from past events in your life, tools that you can use while you're sleeping to help create new situations for your life that you might want to experience, new things that you might want to experience in your life, tools to help you reprogram your mind while you're sleeping, to give you to give you a new way of looking at your life so that when you're out and doing the things that you do, you naturally go for what it is that you're interested in. Tools that just make sleep better. Dreams are wonderful because they're unexplainable and they're vast and as limitless as the mind, as the imagination. Um, I talk about dreams because there's so much mysticism surrounding the topic that we have a huge vastness of study on just the dream realm, just what happens to the mind when we're sleeping. And I experience more of a spiritual, supernatural, mystical side of dreams that it's been something I've been able to use in my own life and a dependable source of information and interest that I've been able to draw upon and share. And so I have this show because I'm so grounded in dreams that I feel comfortable opening up my own life raft for others to call and talk about dreams. I've had a lot of callers who are confident in their dreams. I haven't had very many callers who've had nightmares or have had past traumatic events, but I figure in time as you guys walk with me through the steps of dreams into the unmanifested and into your awake life, you'll start to have more confidence in your girl, and you'll start to call in with those nightmares, those tough dreams that kind of get at you, and you want to get through. So, nightmares. What are nightmares? Nightmares are dreams gone wrong. Nightmares are usually past events in your life, maybe past experiences from past experiences from past lives that have surfaced in your consciousness and surfaced in your consciousness while you were sleeping. And while you're sleeping, the dream state has taken a turn and connected something that's happened to you in your life, and something that you've been afraid of, and it's made it a place that you don't want to get into. It's in your subconscious as a pattern, and in your consciousness as fear, an emotional state of fear. So when you're going through your dream state, you might be dreaming of something blissful and completely ready for something like just coasting into the unmanifested, and something from your past has surfaced, and maybe a fear from a scary movie you watched recently has triggered it. That's what I mean by the connection of the two, the mind and the fear. The connection of the two is what makes the nightmare occur. And so, say you watched a scary movie about sinking ships, and you've just maybe remembered, we'll say, a relationship sinking. Not that's kind of a far stretch. We'll say you didn't say you had a past event in your life where, okay, I'll give you a for instance for me. I went on a cruise when I was 14, and I went to the Bahamas with my mother, my father, and my brother, and had a wonderful time. And while I was up on the cruise, I was on stage. I did a talent show, and I performed. And I swear, as soon as I started to sing, everyone got really, really quiet. Like I quieted the whole audience. And I became very aware of my little self on this big stage, and wanted to run off the stage. But I wasn't done with my performance, and so I kept going. And I got to the part where I had a little dance routine, and I knew that if I could just make it through the dance routine, I would be okay. Because I had more confidence in my ability to dance and sing. And it happened. When I started the dance portion of my routine, the audience came alive. They started roaring and cheering me on and clapping, and everyone started grooving, and I felt the whole place just liven up. And so there was still some singing parts towards the end of the routine, but I knew that if I kept moving my body and grooving along with the singing parts, that I could get the audience to the end of the performance with me. So, so, so this experience in my life brought about a fear of performing on stage, and I kind of knew that I could make it through if I had charisma, but as long as my voice was involved, I was a little afraid. Now, I've seen a lot of scary movies. I've Nightmare on Elm Street. I've seen all of the good old fashioned movies, classic scary movies. I'm actually schooled in film and have a degree in fine arts and filmmaking. So I have watched a lot of. I've even seen the old Doctor Zhivago film noir type scary films. Okay, Alfred Hitchcock. I've seen those type scary films. So, and we can get a little bit psychological and go romantic and say even Titanic was, kind of sad and emotional. So I'm setting up this whole for instance for you, and the for instance is okay. So I go to sleep and I'm dreaming about maybe vacationing on a cruise. Okay? And it's looking promising. I've looked at the cruise ships before bed. I'm listening to waterfalls to kind of get used to the Costa Rica, maybe the destination somewhere with waterfalls. Plus, I'm on a ship. There's water all around me, and I'm settling into my dream state, and it looks like a peaceful dream. And then, wow, the fear of being on stage may be triggered by the movie Titanic when the dramatic scene, the ship is starting to sink. It's not looking promising for Jack. Jack, don't go, Jack, she says, and everything is looking like it's bleak, and the cruise does not look like it's going to happen. The destination doesn't look like it's promising. The water is not peaceful anymore. The audience is no longer cheering for my routine, and I'm in a nightmare. Okay, so that's a nightmare. That's how nightmares occur. A combination of things that you've just seen that invoke fear, provoke emotional fear, and the combination, the past events that have provided emotional fear of connectivity with positive, more relaxed, more peaceful state. This combination is a nightmare, and it's easy to get out of. Plant seeds before going to sleep. Before you go into your dream state, you might find yourself waking up in a field of flowers and looking around, and your transition in your subconscious. You were on a ship. Everyone was staring. Nobody was cheering, and now you're in a field of flowers. And you're up and you're moving and you're running through the field of flowers and onto your next journey in your subconscious. And that's how you can move through a nightmare when you're asleep. Another way is to Um, try to relax. Allow it to be. Maybe find something in that dream that you can grab a hold of. And I had a caller a few nights ago, and she said she's really in touch with the mystical side of dreams, and she's aware of the serpent, the Kundalini serpent. When you're asleep, if you have something in your dream and you're afraid of it, ask it to talk to you. You know, you might have a fear, and as Freddy Krueger starts talking to you, and he sounds like a chipmunk, like one of Alvin and the Chipmunks, it's really hard to be afraid of that. You kind of look at, it's hard. It's hard to you were running from this thing in your fear, in your dream state, and you stop it. And if you really watch that movie Nightmare on Elm Street, and I'm not recommending you do, because I advocate comedies, romance, but if you really watch it, she stops and she's looking at him, and she takes that energy away from him. And you can do that when you're sleeping. You take that energy away from whatever it is you're afraid of. Maybe give it a different voice. Maybe apply a different color. Splash some magenta on the scene and see what happens. It's really hard to stay afraid when you start to shed light on those areas in your life. And you start to let those things speak to you. Give them the tone to speak in. So when they're speaking to you, you can handle the conversation. And then maybe the first night, if you're really, really good and with the memory and it's not too much, you can go into, why are you trying to scare me? And if it's too much, let it go. Become aware in your sleep pattern and let it go. And let your subconscious take you to another place. One of the things that I really want to share with you guys tonight is the guard at your subconscious. We use our conscious minds daily when we're awake, and that's the mind you use when you daydream. When you're daydreaming, you're pulling thoughts and images from your subconscious mind to your conscious mind, and you're projecting them out for yourself as a fantasy to indulge in. This is also a wonderful way to manifest for your life. When you do it consciously and aware, you use the laws of attraction, and you put those images out to the universe as a picture of what you would like to see happen for yourself. When you're sleeping, your conscious mind goes into your subconscious mind and starts to play the tapes of your daily life. But before it can get into your subconscious mind and start playing those tapes, it's got to cross a guard. It's got to cross a threshold. And if you are lucky, you can cross right past that guard, right past your subconscious, right into the unmanifested, get yourself some really good, peaceful sleep. But most of us have patterns. We've had events in our lives that stick out to us, that have shown themselves as memories that are important. And that guard is protecting your mind. And so if you can imagine, when your head hits the pillow, you as your conscious mind start to go to sleep. And as you start to sleep, you walk towards your, I'm going to say, home. And there's a gate, and there's a guard, and you say to the guard, hi, and the guard says hi, and opens the gate. and you walk into your, I'll say, property, into your home, where your subconscious mind is running these images and memories for your mind and you, so that you can continue with a certain situation, and these provide your experiences in life. This is the sleep state we call REM. When you're in this home, past the guard, watching these images, your eyes make a fluttering sensation, rapid eye movement. Your mind is moving. It's processing images, memories, thoughts in your sleep pattern. This is a very important part of sleep because it is where you are able to reprogram your mind. And the programs are limitless. And when I say limitless, I mean limitless. You may have lived your whole life a certain way and can take something into this place in your mind while you're sleeping and change your life to be a whole nother way. It can be done with smells before you go to bed, aromatherapy. It can be done with the images you view before you sleep. If you view a lot of images that you like that support what you're trying to move your life towards. It can be done with the types of clothes you sleep in. It can be done with things that you've seen earlier in the day. It can also be done with the trust of the fact that you know you want your life to change. You know you want your life this way. And that's one of the best ways to do it because it's like walking into a brand new house. There's no furniture. There's no projector running any images at all. It's just you. And you're free to create anything you want and see however you want this house to be decorated with. And the unmanifested will create for you. And when you wake up and you go about your daily life, you have a certain peace that you carry with you. And this transition from one life to another doesn't even seem like a transition. It's more like every day you see something on your list and it's just either not there or it's changed. You used to buy a lot of popcorn. Now you buy a lot of fresh vegetables. It's just a simple, small change that you subtly, it's very subtle. And then in time, you may take a look around this home and see everything that's developed. And then you know the changes happen. And that's how amazing it is. And so the dream state is a place that you can change your life. You can heal your life. You can explore you can explore the Akashic records in your dream state. Get one of your favorite audio topics. Pick up one of your favorite audio teachers and put on headphones before you go to sleep at night and let that teacher take you through this whole new area of study. Your mind will transform and change while you're sleeping. I know when I was in college, I tried to put books under my pillow and then pass the test. And I did graduate college, so there is a truth to that. But you want to try to make sure you get a peaceful sleep. You want your mind to be relaxed. It's not a chore. It's not something you have to do. When you're trying to pass a test and you fall asleep the night before the test with the lessons running through your head and you didn't study before, there's too much pressure involved and you're not likely to get the outcome you want. You might get something better than what you would have gotten if you hadn't done that, but it's not the best way to go about it. It's definitely more of an aid on that side when you're trying to learn something new. You want to apply it in your awake life with images and with a teacher and your own interest, and then put the extra, I'll use the word supplies, in your iPod, your headphones, while you're sleeping, and then you'll transform asleep also. So you might impress your teacher the next day when you go to class and you can speak the language a little bit more fluently because you did that. Or understand when the teacher's speaking to you. It is very possible to reprogram your mind to teach yourself new things, a new way of life, to heal from anything from your past while you're sleeping. If you like the sound of your own voice, if you find yourself your best teacher, get out the recorder and record some of the things that you find fascinating about yourself, and put your headphones on and let yourself be your guide. What better guide than your own soul to take you through the dream state? You will show yourself the most peaceful path to take because you know the way. You're not going to step on anyone else's toes. And if you do, they're your own toes. The dream state, I like to think of it as a dimension itself in the now. The now is everything in existence, and the awake state where we live most of our lives, where we try to apply most of our experiences and we live out our situation, happens in the now. And when you're asleep, your mind, before returning to the unmanifested, travels through a dimension, a portal. That dimension also is in the now. And if you turn it as a platform that you can stand on, you become aware of just how vast that realm is. One of the things I learned from a naturopath is that when you dream and you look around in your dream and there's everyone there, you may dream of your father and your mother and your sisters and your brothers, your distant cousins, and everyone's there. That's you in the dream state. There is no form that you have to adhere to. It's your soul traveling around as a light being. And you are able to connect to other beings. So you're able to see yourself in all the other people that show up in your dream state. You may be having a conversation with someone that you care about, and when you wake up, you might want to reach out to that person. But before you do, I strongly suggest you reach out to yourself, because there might be something that's in them you were talking to that's you. And once you get that message to yourself, all other relationships, the relationship you have with that specific person becomes so much more clear. Tomorrow night, I'm going to tell you guys about a dream that I had. This dream I had, I only have a few minutes left. Maybe I'll be able to squeeze it in. I think I could squeeze it in. I had this dream that I was at a park, and I had family and friends, and everyone was having a good time. And I was trying really, really, really hard to fit in with all these people. I wanted them to like me. And I went to get myself a cup of punch. And it was really, like, I don't know if any of my listeners have ever experienced being at a party and being too nervous to just get a glass of punch, but that's what it was like. I was so nervous to just get this glass of punch, but I managed, and it was lemonade, and there was a ladle in the bowl, and I took my cup, and I dipped the ladle in the bowl, and I poured the punch in the cup. Someone leaned over and whispered something to me about something being in the punch. And I drank it anyways. And everyone started to laugh. And all the hard work that I had done for all these people to like me was gone. Everyone was just laughing at me because they all knew something was in the punch. And I was drinking the punch, and they were watching me drink the punch. And now I was their entertainment. Everyone in that dream was me. Even the person that leaned over to tell me there's something in the punch. When you look at life like that, it's just you telling yourself something. It removes all the fear. And when you're in your dream state, if there's something that you're afraid of, something that's causing you fear, you can turn and look at it and say, what am I so afraid of? And don't be surprised when it answers back in your own voice and tells you. And then you know. And then you're not afraid of it anymore. The dream state is a wonderful state to heal from past events, to become more aware of your life. You can use it as the witnessing self. When you're asleep, you can watch yourself. You can change your life patterns if you have a type A personality and you're always running all over the place in your day-to-day living, in your awake life. You've always got so much going on, you don't have time to really try to figure out the T's and the I's, but you know they're important. You can program certain sleep patterns, certain things you listen to while you sleep, certain smells you take into your sleep, certain colors you take into your sleep. And you can change your life so that you live a peaceful, harmonized lifestyle. And maybe down the road, your goal will be to live a calmer lifestyle, and when you're sleeping, you won't have to work as hard to change your life. And then that sleep state can be just an elevator ride to the unmanifested. And those are great to enjoy because when you get on the elevator and you go into sleep and you're naturally sleeping, you go into the unmanifested blesses you with the present, and you come out of the unmanifested and you awaken and you're sexually aroused, and if you have a partner, you indulge in that sexual activity and you go with that flow, the desire and the ecstasy that you put out towards the day, and you enjoy in your passion, you enjoy life as an abundance of love, and your relationships reflect that love and that peace and that joy. You are a cycle that was created for us to enjoy. So that's my show for tonight. You guys make sure you tune in again, okay? Thank you. This is your girl, Gianni, on the Imaginary Channel.